Hey girl, hey, welcome back to Taste of Taylor. It's Thursdays, which means we are in studio and it's Thanksgiving today. So we decided to have a little bit of a family reunion. Emma Willmann, hey girl, hey.
Hey girl, hey, so happy to be here.
Okay, this is so crazy. So not only is Emma here, Emma's an OG of the show.
Yes, I am.
But you were literally the day after Fallon.
Yes.
You just did Fallon last night.
I just did it last night. And let me tell you something. When your Taylor messaged me about, she was like, do you want to do Taylor?
Yes.
And I knew it was the next day. I was like, yes. And yesterday, I was literally looking forward to doing this. I was looking forward to doing Fallon too, of course. I was excited about that.
You were more excited about this than Fallon?
I'm not just saying that. I literally was like, oh, I'm glad I'm doing Taylor tomorrow too. I think it was because it was also like a comforting thing too. I was like, oh, I'm doing this thing I haven't done before. And then I was like, ooh, and then I'm going to get to see Taylor the next day.
Oh my God.
Because I was like, good or bad, I'll be excited to get to see Taylor.
Emma.
I'm not just saying that. I really am not. On my knees.
I'm sure the audience is literally crying. Happy tears right now.
Thank you guys.
They're so obsessed with you, Emma.
Well, I appreciate you guys. I just appreciate you guys so much. There's been times too where, I'll click back into just knowing that there's people out there that do get me, and it is you guys. So hey girl, hey, and thank you.
The hey girl, hey girls know what's fucking up.
The hey girl, hey girls know.
They know what time it is. They were celebrating in unison with you on Fallon. So we're gonna get to Fallon, of course. But before we do, have we ever told the story about how shit went down at Sirius? Did we ever tell it?
I don't know how much you've told it.
I don't know that we have. Let's tell it.
Let's tell it.
Are you comfortable telling it?
Please.
Because there's a bad guy in the story, and it ain't me, and it ain't you.
So tell it from my perspective of it.
So basically, and we have lots of new people too. So
yes.
You guys, Emma's an OG co-host. So OG, she goes back to the Sirius days.
Yes.
So at Sirius, I was there for 12 years. My co-host Kenny and I were probably together for a decade. He left the show and moved to Pittsburgh as I was coming out. I was like, please don't leave me right now. I actually, he was supposed to move to Pittsburgh, and he stayed an extra month alone.
So I didn't know that time frame.
Yeah.
I didn't know that it was right as you were coming out. That's tricky because that's destabilizing too.
Totally.
And there's also probably comfort. I don't know if you feel this subconscious or not of being okay, look, I'm out. I want people to now know that I'm friendly to, if not necessarily friendly, I'm friendly to people that are I'm not anti-man here. So it's not I'm out of the closet, get the man out.
Correct.
Is that a penis in the building? Where's Melissa Etheridge? And then no. Get back here, straight man. Get back here. Look, we're friends.
I need a straight man to co-sign this gayness. You know what I mean?
Right.
And he was my best friend, and it was the whole thing. So he stayed because he's an angel.
And it is, I do think now that is definitely some type, it's like an internalized homophobia thing, but also it is.
Totally.
It's coming from somewhere for a reason too.
Yes.
It's because we know, it's a tricky dance. But so he stayed an extra month.
Yes.
I
needed my straight white man friend to help me with this transition.
Yeah. Get in here and give a thumbs up.
Literally.
Right.
So he did. It was great, but he had to go. I mean, his whole life was moving to Pittsburgh.
Sure.
So he left, and then I was panicked because I was if I try to replace him, the people will revolt. And actually, I will join them. So my new boss at the time, okay, you remember her.
Yes.
We
never forget.
We shall not say names.
Okay.
But she kind of came in, and I thought she was my hero at first. And then honestly, I don't need to go into all the nitty-gritty details, but it ended up just not being the vibe. We don't have a relationship anymore. She did some really good things for me. I'll give credit where credit's due.
Okay.
But also shit got dicey near the end. So
also it's she did good things for you, and this is something I've learned in the past when I look at. So I'm oh, this person helped me out, and it's well, one, that's their job.
That's
and
true.
Two, and this is it's you have a talent, so it's not a crazy she should have been helping you out.
That's so fair.
You
That's
know
so
what I
true.
mean?
But she had mad crazy connections. So when she came in, a lot of people when they come into managerial positions, they clean house.
Right.
So she totally could have cleaned house. But so she was well, why don't we do a rotation of co-hosts? And I was okay. And she started to bring in all these co-hosts. I remember Michelle Bateau came on.
Yep.
I had a mental breakdown after because Michelle was so good. I was she's replacing me.
Oh, wow.
There's no way I'm not going to get replaced with this girl the next day. And so my boss pulled me into the office.
What did you do that was so good?
Just She just Michelle'd all over the place.
Interesting, because she Michelle'd all over the place.
She Michelle'd all over the place.
When she does the Michelle all over the place. But you guys are pretty different, too.
Yes. So
but
I felt like I was like chasing her. Like I couldn't even keep up. You know what I mean?
Totally.
And that's no insult to people that I do keep up with because like we're fucking fabulous. And it's also no insult to Michelle. It's really an insult to me.
It's probably where your head was at when she was on, too. And she's amazing also. So, because I've had that, if I'm in a certain headspace and I do something with someone, I'm like, well, I should just quit.
Totally.
And usually it would be when I was doing prom shows with Pete Davidson. I don't know what it was. Back in the day, we used to do these prom shows.
Wait, explain.
So in comedy, they used to do this. This is a long time ago. He's not doing prom shows still, and neither am I, thank the Lord. But they would bring kids in from Long Island at like 1 a.m. so they wouldn't go home and have sex with each other.
Literally prom shows.
After prom.
So they go to prom, and then they go to a comedy show. So they don't get drunk and have sex.
Yes. And so talk about the people that do not want to be at a comedy show. It's kids that would rather be getting drunk and having sex. And they would be like, we'll give you like $20 if you guys do like a 20-minute set for these kids. So I used to do
$1 a minute.
Pete and I was like, great. Pete would do them. This comic Mike Cannon would do them, and Mike Cannon would kill.
Mike.
He would kill at them.
Oh my God, Mike did a show with Cosmo magazine.
He would kill at these prom shows.
He's so fucking funny.
And the rest, and then but I would do it with Pete, and I remember sometimes watching Pete, and he would be great too. And I'd always be like, what am I doing? Like I guess I should just get a food truck or something. But. So Michelle comes on, she Michelle's.
Yep. And so I'm like spiraling. And I guess my boss could feel that, which makes her a good boss.
Yes.
So she called me and she was like, Taylor, what's up? And I was like, you're going to fire me. I'm gay and you're going to fire me. All my mom's fears are going to come true. And she was like, Taylor, I'm not going to fucking fire you. If I fired you, I would have already gotten rid of you.
Right.
She's like, I have insane connections. Humble brag.
Totally.
And she's like, so you could have been gone. She's like, I'm trying to build a group of people around you because it's your show. Your name's on the show. You shine. If somebody's better than you, great. You're the boss.
Totally, 100%.
And I was like, oh.
That's a great way to look at it.
So then I was able to settle into it. So then we started to look officially for the rotation of co-hosts. I don't even know how our paths crossed, but Emma came into audition.
Yeah, it was, I think.
You were with the comedy guys at Sirius, right? Was that how it came through?
I think it was through Jack Vaughn. I think, but I remember the morning very distinctly because I remember going in, and I had done morning radio before, if it was for promoting a show or something, but different, not talk morning radio. So I remember going in, and I remember Taylor sitting there, and you were quiet. And I remember.
It was early.
Very friendly, of course. This is a long time ago too. There's been many nights where I've had lots of hangovers since then. Don't drink anymore.
I am a hangover,
and we've been hungover since then. But I remember you were quiet, and then I remember right when they played the intro music and you went on. It was head down, and then all of a sudden, hey girl, hey! And I remember being like, whoa! And then the roller coaster didn't stop, and it was great. And I remember it was so fun. And then I was like, let me know if you guys ever want to fill in if someone cancels.
Yep.
And then I would come and fill in.
Oh, that's right.
Mm-hmm. And it was fun.
And so then the first time we ever did a show together, I fell in love with you. I was like,
appreciate it.
Are so good together. I am obsessed with us. So the chemistry was off the charts. And so I was like, okay, let's give Emma the spot. And my boss at the time, the one I've been talking about, she agreed.
Right.
And we
didn't she say no? No, she agreed in that. Yes, she agreed.
We gave her the spot.
Right.
And then my boss comes down 2 days later. We had the whole lineup set to go. And she comes down, she's like, we have to bring this person in. And you got to tell Emma that she's no longer a co-host.
That is a shitty thing to do.
And I was like, I'm not fucking doing that. That's a shitty thing to do. And also, I want Emma. Isn't it my show after all? And we got into a huge fight. And she ended up bringing in somebody else for a week. And she was terrible.
Was it because it was two gay people, you think?
Ooh.
Because I do kind of remember that.
Literally
I think she didn't
know
I was gay or something. And then when she came up and then when I went and met her, she was like, oh, haircut. I don't know, maybe not.
HR booby trap.
Yeah. That's a reference from the joke I did last night. But maybe it wasn't, or it could have been something else. Who knows?
No, honestly, I like that story. She was homophobic.
Okay.
And everybody knows it. No, she totally
it could have been, or I didn't know, but I remember she was like, here it is, and then it was no more.
Yeah, maybe they didn't want two gay women together.
Who knows?
But so anyway, I acquiesced because I'm a pussy, and then it ended up not working out with the other co-host. So then I was like, then she comes to me, she's like, can you call Em and see if we can get her back? I was like, bitch, you are fucking me up. So, but thank God you forgave us in that situation.
Sure.
But just so you know, that wasn't my fault.
Yes, I remember that. I remember it because
I was livid.
Yeah, it was like it was uncomfortable. I think also, you know what it was? I think you didn't really know what was going on too. So
I really
you were like,
didn't.
"Hey, you're supposed to start, but I don't really know what's going on."
Yeah.
And then you were like, "Sorry, the way that was handled." I remember because we went out and we got drinks at a place. I remember just getting drinks in Midtown or something.
Yeah.
And you were like, "That was bad. Sorry."
Terrible.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, I am all about personal, like, interpersonal relationships. I think that that's, like, kind of the key to my longevity.
For sure.
So when I have to, like, fuck up my relationships because somebody else is, like, not doing the right thing. There's nothing worse than that.
It's a tough situation. Also, the power of an apology to me is, like, if someone has, like, self-awareness about something and can apologize, because that takes guts also.
Right.
Like, only in the past couple of years have I really been trying to, like, if I do something wrong, acknowledging it sincerely and not going into the, like, doing an appropriate amount of apology too, because you can go, "I'm so sorry, I'm an idiot." Once you go into that, it gets kind of self-indulgent too. And I'll do that in my relationship with my girlfriend, and I'm trying not to go into a shame spiral. But if you just a sincere, appropriate amount of apologizing to move forward is a very powerful thing.
So you used to come on and do Emma's Dating Dilemma. That was like your segment.
Oh my God.
And I feel like Dilemma no more. I mean, you and girlfriend have been together for how long?
4 years. Dilemma no more. I mean, there's little dilemmas around the apartment, but it's not like a dating dilemma.
Exactly.
Like I don't know why it is so hard for me to load the freaking dishwasher. It's like whatever way to do it, I do it wrong.
Oh, do you do it wrong intentionally? I have a theory about bad dishwasher doers.
No, not at all. It's because normally it's like you do it a little bit haphazardly. It's not like I'm doing my full. It's not some like psychotic mind game of doing it wrong, but I put the knife in the wrong way.
Emma, no.
Whatever.
First of all, that's a safety hazard.
Hey, so I've heard. But it's like. It's, or there's these little things around the apartment that, but there's no dating dilemma, which is lovely.
Taylor is so bad at the dishes. It's like, is she okay?
And then also and then it's like.
She does it on purpose.
No, and then Lexi, my girlfriend will go, "Tell me what you were thinking." Like, I'm trying to understand.
Yeah, help me.
Like, it gets very psychological.
Help you.
It's like, we've gotten into like my childhood because of it. She's like, "Did you not have to load the dishwasher as a kid?" And I didn't.
There it is. That's what it is.
But I'm 38 and I've loaded a dishwasher for years and years since then, and
Taylor,
it's been fine.
No, you need the foundational skill set. So Taylor Donahue was like a student athlete, right? She played lacrosse at GW. So like sports.
Oh, she's giving you all the excuses.
Oh,
she's like, "Look, in kindergarten I had a busy schedule.
Sports were her life." So her mom, I think, was like, "Oh, you have a job,
right? And
it's like you don't need to have chores. Like you're an athlete." So I think that's why she's so bad at the laundry. I'm like, literally, don't even go near it. It's not for you. Okay.
This is the thing too, because she goes, "It's nice when you try to do things, but then if I have to go redo them, it takes even more time."
Literally, exactly.
I don't know why. I think it was like my dad would always do the dishes. He would just always do the dishes. It wasn't like a thing.
Honestly, what a progressive king.
What a progressive king. Yeah, my mom would always cook, and then my dad would do the dishes.
Actually, that's the fair system.
Right. Yeah, someone's got to, and then when I had stepmoms and stuff, they would cook, and then he would do the dishes. That was like kind of how it was.
Okay, we're going to get deep into family in a little bit.
Yes.
Because nothing says Thanksgiving like family fucked upness.
Great segue. And you know what also, too? It shows how all these little family things like play out in our lives in ways we wouldn't have even imagined.
They haunt us later in life.
It's like there's like one half of your life where you're like doing it, and then there's another part of your life where you're just like looking back being like, how do we get here? Trying to deconstruct it.
Literally.
And then you're 90 and I don't know what happened.
And then you repeat the cycle with your kids.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, wait. We're going to get into family, but first, let's get into Fallon.
Okay.
The Tonight Show
with
fun. Jimmy Fallon. How did this come to fruition?
It was such a different. Did we do this? And we did. That was our Sirius. That was the whole thing.
That's Sirius.
That's the story.
And fuck Sirius.
Yep.
But if they wanted to,
of course,
pay me
call
money.
Me.
If Dear Media wants to do a deal with them, I'm in.
Yes, totally. I remember that whole period very, very. I remember it very clearly. Okay, so Fallon came about. First of all, doing Fallon was such a different experience for me this time around than because I had done Colbert and it was so different for so many reasons. But
why?
Well, so my head's much better headspace. I can handle stress. Like I used to have no self-care routine also.
Yeah.
So Taylor knows this, but this wasn't something I'd spoken about very much. When I did Colbert, I was also dating the booker. Remember?
Oh, do I ever remember.
So in my experience doing this, it highlighted to me how crazy that was.
It was a lot.
Insane. So it was like the first time I was doing it, I remember I had just gotten out of a relationship, and it was one of those things where it's like we would be working on stuff, but I'm like, are we flirting? And I couldn't really tell.
Right.
Now, keep in mind, at that time, like, I don't think I had ever done a TV thing. I don't think I had a manager. I had no credits. Like, I'm desperate for a credit. So then you have someone coming in saying, hey, I want to do this thing with you, and then kind of flirting. I was very confused.
Yes.
So looking back on it, I'm like, that was just such chaos. And then after the first time we did it, like, then we got in a full-on relationship. So the second time we did it, we had broken up, and it was even more chaos.
Yes.
And I remember, this is a little bit foggy in here, but I kind of remember her being like, do you want to do it again? And I was like, I do not want to work with you on anything ever again, for personal reasons, for that. Because of the shit show of the relationship. The breakup, it was a tough breakup. And then we did it, but like, I don't even think we were like, we had personal stuff getting in the way with work stuff. Like, she'd give me a note on the set, and I'd be like, how about, like, you pay me, you owe me, like, a lot of money. Like, we were, like, there was, like, drama there.
It's very hard to work with somebody you're involved with in a relationship. Tay and I
Especially
do it
if
now.
you've broken up and it's chaos.
Right. I mean, we have a very good therapist that helps us do it. But, like, you guys had a very rocky foundation. So to add work to that or, like, to mix it in, disaster.
It was crazy.
I remember.
And I didn't realize how crazy it was until... Like, in the past couple years, I've been doing a lot of therapy, like, really, like, untangling stuff. Thank God.
Right.
So, and I kind of had forgotten about that. But in the experience of doing this, which was just 100% professional, I was like, wow. It made me, like, feel for myself with the, like, the second time I did that show, I was, like going up to it, her and I were just, like, bickering. And then it was, like, go on stage. Like, it was like,
that
it was
is
a shit
the
show.
worst thing to do is
It's
to
crazy.
like be in a fight with somebody and then have to go perform. Like, no, the person on the other end needs to understand like what you're mentally going through to even get on that stage in the first place.
It was, and also I was like, I definitely remember feeling very uncomfortable with like how I was like dressed and how I looked. So like, it's like so many things go into moments like that where it's like not that moment, it's all the things before it where it's like I feel much more comfortable with myself now, with my like my body, with like all of these different things, and that makes it so it's like you can kind of feel it in someone's like smile. I feel like
it's like the confidence.
It's the confidence,
yeah,
and they walk you through everything. So there's no surprises, which is really nice. And let me tell you something. That Jimmy Fallon, very charming.
Isn't he the best?
He's so charming.
Oh my God. So
oh my God.
I got to interview him at Sirius right when he got the Tonight Show.
Nice.
And he was one of my favorite interviews. He was so like, wow, man, I get it now. Because he's like, I was on SNL. I do movies. Like, yeah, we work, but like, it's a weird, like you get like big breaks and like you like bust your ass for like 3 months, but then like you're offset and you're not working. And he's like, I have so much respect for what you guys do in radio because you guys come in every day, Monday through Friday at a certain hour. It's a grind. It's a big show. And then you wake up the next morning and you do it again.
Right.
And he was like, I'm trying to consolidate that like in my mind. Like, how am I going to do this every day? But he does the damn thing.
He's doing it and that amount of energy to create that amount of chemistry with different guests each time.
Yep.
Okay, so the first guest was Cynthia Erivo, who is in Wicked.
Insane.
She's so talented. She's on the show singing. Like when I was watching her in the rehearsal, I had it playing in the green room and I hear her singing and I go, whoa, whoa. And I was like, wait, what's the order of the show? Who's going on after her? Because I was like, no one, like this is the talent is so much that it's like, there's no display of like human performance that in any way can like match up to, like everyone go home.
Yes.
So and they were like, no, it's her, then it's Martha Stewart, then it's you.
Martha Stewart.
Perfect. I made eye contact with Martha Stewart a couple times.
Did you talk to her?
Didn't.
But did you flirt?
I kind of tried to catch her eye, but I didn't want to bother her, and it was interesting because in her green room were a bunch of women that all were kind of looked like her. So her publicist,
her whole posse are like doppelgangers.
That's what it looked like, which was cool, which was funny.
That's so Martha.
There was a woman that was like very like, you know, all the people that work there are like pretty like young and all that stuff. And there's this woman that I noticed that was more in line with Martha's like age.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, who is this woman? They're like, that's her publicist. And I was like, oh, got it. Cute.
Do you think she makes everybody like go through like a Martha Stewart plastic surgery routine?
They've got the same guy for sure. Her? I'd love to see the before and after pictures. But she was beautiful. Like I didn't realize how she's gorgeous. Martha Stewart's very, very pretty. But you see Jimmy he does that interview, then Martha, totally different energies.
Right.
And then he sets it up really well. So then I went out and it just felt just fun.
You
it was fun to do.
Crushed it.
Thank you so much.
I was at Soho House last night having drinks, and we were like waiting, and so we went into a corner because it was so fucking loud. They were playing music, and we were watching it in a corner. It was so fucking awesome. And then I rewatched it again today.
Thank you so
killed
much.
It. And even Jimmy said he was like, "That's how it's done," and he doesn't always do that. And then you got a standing ovation.
I know, which was great. And you know what? I kept it cool because normally that's never happened before. So, but normally when there's like a big response, I'll kind of be like, right. But I was like, no, just shut the fuck up and act like it's normal.
You were like, I will receive this. I will receive this.
Yeah, about right. So that was a nice thing. It was nice. It was fun. And you know what? This is a new mentality I have.
Okay.
I go, I'm not reading a single comment.
Don't.
Because I used to always think it's so hard to surrender results. It's so hard to stay in the moment. I'm a big time hopper.
Yes.
And my time hopping trips don't usually lead to goodness. Like my time hopping trips, it'll be like, this happens, and then I'll be like, and then say it goes well. Okay, well then I'm going to be like, adrenaline crash, and then I'm going to screw this up. And it's like all roads when I time hop leads me being depressed, drunk at a bar in Florida, and everything's gone to shit. Even though, one, I don't drink anymore. Two, I absolutely love Florida. The weather. I'd be happy to be there.
Justice for Florida.
I don't know.
Don't love the politics, but
Sure.
love the palm trees.
Every time I've been there, I love the climate. But
Me
for
too.
some reason, I just picture myself drunk at a bar in Florida, and I'm talking to some guy, and there's like a TV in the background, and I see someone I know that's on TV, and I go, I used to work in show business. And he goes, what happened? And I'm like, ugh.
You know what we call that?
What?
Catastrophizing.
Yes,
that's what we call that. And you know what? It's actually good to catastrophize because then you can go like this.
Oh.
That's not gonna happen.
Okay, right.
Let your brain go there.
Right.
And then go, and that's not gonna happen.
Yes. Or someone told me this once. They go, call yourself a storyteller. Say, okay, storyteller, good story, you're done.
Right.
And I like that because it's also, if we can self-actualize things into existence, then if we picture these negative things,
yes.
we're going to make it into existence.
So wait, so before you go on Fallon, are you fucking nervous? Or like how did you prepare? Because I was with Hannah Berner out in the Hamptons over the summer before her Fallon appearance. And she was like cool as a cucumber, but then she started to like kind of run lines. Jared Freed came out to kind of like ping pong with her a little bit because she was like, you can't swear. And she's like, and I'm not really a swearer, but like now all I want to do is say fuck, you know? So she's like, it's these random things that like all of a sudden like just like eke into your brain.
It's like a tick where you want to be like, go out and just start swearing and then be like, buy Pepsi, like do everything that you're just like not allowed to do.
Literally.
I think what helped was me just being like, you know what, I didn't feel like I had like a lot. No matter how this goes, it's gonna be whatever. It's gonna be fine. Also, it feels like things are a little decentralized now because there's so many different forms of media. It's like it doesn't feel it feels like the pressure takes the pressure off of it a little bit.
Amazing.
I felt that.
Amazing.
And that's
it's
one
not
of
the only show available.
Right.
It's like, and then there's like specials on Netflix, and then there's stuff on YouTube. It's
We're
like
all scrolling like this.
It's kind of amazing,
constantly.
isn't it? Actually,
So it's like it's good, it's bad, but
True.
it's like the amount of info that people are retaining. Like if I get someone's attention for like 20 seconds, great, but I'll just do the best that I can with it.
Right.
It doesn't feel like it just takes the pressure off a little bit. So I wasn't freaking out before I went on. I was doing little breathing exercises. I've been reading about. You ever heard of the vagus nerve?
No.
Okay.
Well, yes, but
You know the nerve. You've heard.
it helps you to gamble.
No, but I want to know what that is. Well, I mean, so what it is it's the nerve that basically goes from your brain to your gut, and it's like the messaging between your like brain and gut. Okay, I don't know the medical terms, but I got this like device that like does a little vagus nerve massager thing. So I'm like doing that and going like So I'm like doing little like self care. I went and got cryo that morning. I had self care things.
You are a self-care Mac Daddy.
I'm trying.
You really have always. I feel like
but I didn't used to actually do self care.
that's fair, but I feel like ever since like I moved my show from Sirius, got fired, and started my own thing, like that's when your self-care journey really began.
It was on and off, and now it's like finally, because there's this thing with self-care too, because you go, am I being selfish or is it doing self-care? And it's like, okay, when I was being like a total piece of shit and actually selfish, I never wondered if I was being selfish.
Right.
So if I need to go do an hour of therapy a week and like a support group and take a walk, that's not actually being selfish. That's putting me in a place where I can actually be like of service and
The
present.
best version of yourself.
Right.
For sure.
Yes.
Okay, so, but were you nervous or no? Did the
So
nerves hit? You
definitely
didn't seem nervous at all. You were so comfortable, calm, cool, and collected.
I felt I was nervous, but it wasn't like it was different. It was kind of I wasn't nervous like free. I wasn't having like some existential crisis. Like to me when I get more nervous like or depressed, it'll be like more overwhelming sense of dread. Like with this, it was kind of like, you know, what's the worst that can happen? I mean, look, I probably pretty bad. Good thing I didn't go down that road before I actually did it. But I didn't feel, it was more just like, okay, here you are. And honestly thinking I'm not looking at the comments really did help me.
Right.
I didn't realize how much I used to think about that before I go on stuff. And when I would think about looking at the comments, then I would also think, well, I want to make everybody happy. And now I'm kind of like, okay, the people that are going to be there for this, great. I hope it gives them something. And the people that aren't, okay, they've got a million other things to watch.
Literally.
It's fine. You know?
They'll survive. They'll be okay.
Swipe on, you know?
So when, like, post-set, did you feel amazing or do you, like, spiral? I'm the queen spiraler.
I am too.
Oh, you didn't spiral?
I didn't spiral at all.
I'm so proud of you.
I didn't. I am such a spiraler. And I did not spiral. And I was like, I had a show after it. I went to do, my friend Oscar Aiden had a show at the Stand. I went and did that. And then Lexi, my girlfriend, was like, we're going to go get steak. And I was like, I don't think we have time for it. So we were going to go to Sugarfish, which we love. They don't take reservations. No reservations. There's nothing you can do.
Literally
nothing.
Zero.
Literally zero. We've made friends with people that work there.
Doesn't matter.
It's
a machine.
Totally. Sugarfish, if you come to New York, it's such a good restaurant.
No, we have to go. I'm obsessed.
And it's a good deal.
It's a great deal.
So we tried to go there, line, and then so we're like, okay. And then so I was like, she was like, can you text him?
You're like, I was on Fallon
Imagine
tonight.
I said that, and they'd be like, aren't we all like crazy New Yorker? But we were like, okay, we're going to go somewhere else. And then she's like, go on later at the show. I'm like, no, I want to see Oscar. So we went to Sweet Green. And Lexi was like, this is depressing.
That's depressing.
No, it's not. I love Sweet Green. Here's another thing. I like knowing what to expect from the restaurant. So I like that I know everything to expect. And she was like, she eats it all the time for work. So she was like, you're not going to be depressed with this? And I was like, no, are you? And she was like, it's your day. It's fine. If not.
Whatever you
So
want.
we went to Sweet Green and she was like mortified, but I love Sweet Green. So it was good. It was nice. Also, it was like, I just wanted to be able to talk to her about what was going on backstage while I was on, blah, blah, blah. So that was what I wanted. So we did the show. We went to Sweet Green. Then I did the other show. Then I went home and I sat and, speaking of self-care, I went and sat in my sauna blanket.
Nice.
You ever sat in one of those?
I have not.
Let me tell you something. It's this like sleeping bag type thing that you get in and you turn it on, you crank up the heat. And I just got a new one. I had the same one for like 7 years. So the one that I had was broken the past 3 years. So it would heat up way hotter than it was supposed to get. Like it would be, I would get in and with 5 minutes it'd be like 700 degrees. Like it was a total fire hazard. I'd have to like move my body around so it wasn't burning me. So I finally got a new one and I was like, this thing sucks. It's not heating up to 10 trillion. But I sat in that thing and it was a nice little, it was relaxing. And then I didn't watch it and I went to bed.
You didn't watch it?
Didn't watch it.
Will you ever watch it?
I don't know.
Question.
Yeah.
Did your mom watch it?
So she calls me. I call her this morning.
I love your mom's stories.
So I call her this morning and she goes, I call her, she picks up and she goes, can't talk. And I'm like, yeah, fine. I called you. And she's like, oh, wait. She was like, you did really? She was like, I couldn't figure out how to watch it last night, but I watched this morning because I realized, you know what? It's on YouTube. And I was like, yeah, I told you. And she was like, it was good. It was really good. Like, da-da-da. How'd you feel about it? So we talked about it a little bit. And then she was like, she's in Florida right now. And she talked about Florida a little bit. And then she came back. So her love language is, her language is acts of service.
Okay.
So she's not a verbal affirmations type of person.
Okay.
So she was like, yeah, it was like good. Like, you look good. Like, how'd you feel? You know, it was like pretty short. And then she was like, oh, God, like, I got to figure out how to make mashed potatoes or something insane. Whatever. I'm going to be with Thanksgiving. I'm going to do Thanksgiving with her this year. It's going to be me. It's going to be very small. Me, her, my special uncle, Lex, you're going to go down. So, mom story real quick.
To down or to Maine?
To Cambridge, where my mom lives.
I always forget she's in Cambridge.
She lives in Cambridge and in Florida now. She's doing the switch. But she's not a Florida citizen.
She's a snowbird.
She's a snowbird.
Yeah.
So we're going to go do it. But the last time we did Thanksgiving with them, my uncle, who's a special uncle, it was the first time he's special needs. The first time he met my girlfriend, Lexi, who is Mexican. He comes in. Now, he's met a few girlfriends before, right? So it used to be, okay, Emma's dating Dilemma, like Taylor said. I used to go on a lot of dates. Used to have quite a few different girlfriends.
Yes.
And I would introduce them to my family, whatever. And my family would be like, oh, nice to meet you. Okay, fine. So Uncle Zeke, when he met Lexi.
I love Uncle
Zeke. He comes in, and everyone else has kept it totally cool. He comes in and he goes, wow, new friend. And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, another one. And I was like, yep. He goes, a brown one. No! And then he went, okay, and walked out. And Lexi was like, it's great to meet you. And then my mom was like, well, that's your uncle. And then I was just like, it was just like one like hook after, and he's like, whoa, new friend, another new friend, too many new friends, big problem, brown one. And I was like, anything else, asshat? Jesus. He's such a like happy, wonderful person. He's the best.
And he's
pure, good intentions. He does, he was just, it's like a genuine like, brown one. And we were like,
it goes in the brain, it comes out the mouth.
Goes in the brain, comes out the mouth. Got to respect it. So that was last day. So we got to see what he's going to come out with.
So that was the last time you had Thanksgiving? How many years ago was that?
That was 3 years ago. And then actually that same Thanksgiving, my mom kept asking Lexi if the food was bland. And she's like, no. And she was like, are you sure? She's like, we don't use enough seasoning. And I was like, why is she asking that? And then Lexi afterwards was like, because there's like a stereotype that Mexican people like spicy food. And I didn't even think about that. I didn't even know. I was like, oh, because I was like, what is she talking about? My mom was like, I've never used enough seasoning in my recipes. My family didn't use seasoning. Like, we need to use more seasoning and how to use season
like
stuff.
Trying so hard, doing it all wrong.
Exactly.
So was Lexi excited? Super excited about Thanksgiving?
She was like, she'll say yes too. Also, she wants my mom to like her, so she's like,
right.
So we're gonna go do Thanksgiving. We're gonna do 3 days with my mom and uncle and come back. What are you guys doing for Thanksgiving?
We're going to be here. I'm gonna go to my sister-in-law's.
Okay, cute.
But my parents are coming.
Great.
I know. So it's like, it's so nice because, as you know, I did not get along with my ex-in-laws. So to now have in-laws that I adore, that love me back, and my family loves them as well. Like, my mom and Tay's mom came the same weekend. We had like a mother-daughter weekend.
Cute.
They slept on the couches that are like across from each other, and we would like get up in the morning and they'd be like drinking coffee and like just like chit-chatting.
That's so cute.
Gossiping like the gals do. It was so
They're quiet
cute.
when you guys come in. You're like, what are you guys talking about?
They're talking shit about us. Yeah, they were on the couch talking shit about us. Whatever, it bonds them together. It's so cute. Wait, I just saw that you posted something. Maybe it wasn't that recent, but it was about your mom. And it was about the Fight Club picture that you posted.
Oh, yeah.
Which, by the way, is so fucking sick.
Thank you so much.
Let me just tell you, it is like Vanity Fair level iconic status.
Let me tell you something.
It's fucking awesome.
I really appreciate that. Doing that made me see all that goes into a photo like that. And I know it's like people are like, okay, it's a very specific. I looked like that photo for probably 4 hours total. Here's what it is. So you do all this stuff prepping for something like that, and then the day before a photo shoot, you
were working out like crazy
all the time.
You were working with like a nutritionist. I remember. I mean, you had a rigorous schedule.
It was because it was also when I was doing that, I was like, okay, what's something that I can work on that is like in my control, and I just wanted to see if I could do it.
Plus, you had like an 8-pack.
It was, but here's the thing. So before you do a photo like that, you dehydrate yourself.
Yes.
I didn't know about this.
Yep.
So the day before, my trainer at the time was like, look, he's like, if we're going to do this, he's like, just do what I say. It's going to get weird. I said, I'm in. And he was like, okay, so don't have any salt, don't have any water. And then the day of,
don't have any fun.
Don't have any fun. He's like, call me the morning of. And so I call him the morning of. He's like, okay, send me a picture. I send him a picture. He's like, I put a pill in your backpack. And I was like, okay, great. And he goes, if you feel comfortable, take that pill. It's not mind altering. And then do 2 shots of espresso. Fine. So I do it. I get to the photo shoot. And by the time I took my shirt off, I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, what was that pill? He's like, it's a diuretic. And he had actually told me that. I had just forgotten. He's like, it's a diuretic. So all the fluid was sucked out. So I was like, it adds an element. It makes your veins pop, everything. So right after I took the photo shoot, I'm like guzzling water.
Yeah.
But
you were like beyond parched.
I was beyond parched.
Have you ever been that thirsty in your life?
I've never been that thirsty. And I felt hungover the next day.
No.
Because of the dehydration.
Damn.
Mm-hmm. But it shows too, it's like, even if you do all of these things, like you're working out with a nutritionist, I had the time, a trainer, all this stuff. Even then, when you do a photo shoot with that, I had a fake tan. I was like, my skin was glowing because I was doing a cycle of peptides called ipamorelin or something that makes your skin glow.
We love peptides.
Love a peptide.
Love a peptide.
Love a supplement.
Yes.
So I do that, and even then it lasted for 4 hours.
That's
so like,
crazy.
I know you hear people say this, but when people at home, when you're like looking at that stuff, just know how manipulated it is.
Fully. Like we don't even look like the thing that we look like.
Exactly.
Yes.
There's no way I could have even like maintained that with that, because that wasn't me. That was me for 4 hours.
You know what's so crazy? So I just did my like photo shoot. You
Yes,
at
it
the
came-
relaunch
looked
party.
great.
Thank you for coming. It was
Of
amazing
course.
having you there. But Tay and I, who were we with? We were talking with some random guys. I feel like I can't remember where. It doesn't matter.
Were they like actor guys, bodybuilder guys?
No, I want to say we were at Andrew Collins' wedding.
Nice.
And so we were talking with like friends of his, but then there was also like friends of their friends, like these like Vero Beach like locals. It was an interesting environment, but we were talking. I'm like, maybe it wasn't even like that close. Whatever. We were talking to some guys with that energy.
Right.
Okay. And Tay like showed them a picture of the new cover art, and one of the guys who I fucking just met was like, "That's not you." And I was like, fuck you. Incorrect.
Incorrect.
And correct. Like, yeah, he was like, that's not your hair. I was like, bro, I had like fucking 15,000 hair extensions in. Of course it's
Also,
not my
have
hair.
you ever talked to a freaking person before, you idiot, you doofus, you moron? Like, also, the art of saying things behind people's back,
Gone.
learn it. Like, it's like...
It's a lost art. We
It's
need
a
to
lost
relearn
art.
it.
Yeah, let's practice right now. I'm here. You're like, you look great. I leave, and you go, who the fuck was that? Her cousin that she shipped in? Like, get out of here. So my mom hadn't seen the photo.
The Fight Club photo.
The Fight Club photo. We're in the United Lounge at like 7 a.m. She was coming with me to San Francisco. I was like, I'm going to bring my mom with me to a show because we've got a lot of family in San Francisco. We're in the United Lounge, and I had prepared myself. I did therapy like the day before. You know, like it was like, okay, don't try to expect things that aren't going to happen. You know what I mean? Like, accept your mom for who she is. Like, love her. We're happy for the relationship, whatever. We're sitting so I'm emotionally prepared is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Sitting across from each other at the United Lounge, and she's like, your sister said you posted a naked picture on Instagram. And I was like, oh, no, I didn't. I was like, but remember when I was like working out all the time? I was like, I had this very specific photo in mind. And she was like, can I see it? So I show it to her, and she went, ew. And I was like,
first of all, it's so not ew.
Thank you.
It's fucking awesome.
And also,
Parents.
no matter what, you're not allowed to say ew to anybody's picture, no matter what they're doing.
Ever.
Maybe if they were like doing something obviously gross, right? But like
spitting on the ground.
Spitting on the ground, putting it back in their nose, like it's whatever it is, then it's like, ew, you're doing a gross thing. But if it's just a picture of you, especially if you're in any state of undress.
Yes.
Ew. And I went, ew? And she was like, ew. And I was like, are you ew? And then I was like, I don't think you're allowed to like do that. Like, I'm like going into, I'm like, no.
You're like, Mom, you just got canceled.
You fired. Like, I don't have an HR department, but I'm going to get one to then tell you can't, ew. And I was like, Mom, that's a picture of my body. And she went, I don't know. And I was like,
did you emergency call your therapist?
I sat there and I just was looking at her and I was like thinking about doing that. And then I was like, okay, and then I was like thinking that she'd kind of catch herself, and she was like, and then it's quiet. And I was like, are you saying ew to the fact because I don't have my shirt on? She was like, maybe that. And I was like, is it because you think it's not supposed to be sexual? It's like, it's supposed to be like artistic. And she was like, yeah, I don't think I like Instagram very much.
I don't like Instagram. She took the whole app down.
She took the whole app down. Yeah, she's like, yeah, fuck Mark Zuckerberg. It was like,
I'm dead.
It was just bizarre. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to take a minute. Or I was like, I'm going to go get something to drink. And then I like went and got a coffee, and I was kind of like, ew. And then like later I was like, you can't say, and she's like, well, sorry, I said ew. It's just like, I don't understand Instagram, like why you would put photos of yourself up there. So I think it was maybe more about, I still don't know what it was about. It was not the right response, but ew.
I think, listen,
ew.
Parents they have no idea how brutal they can be. My parents and I got into the biggest fight, okay? I was doing younger.
Yep.
And like I had like a bunch of different looks, but we were kind of like, so this one season we shot the whole thing in like 3 days.
Damn.
And it was so it was like 12 after show episodes.
Sure.
It was crazy. So anyway, I had a bunch of different outfits. I wasn't really feeling myself at the time. I was like at a weight that I wasn't comfortable at, so I was already feeling insecure. But but they loved like bright colors, big jewelry, like shit that just was like so not me. So I was already feeling not quite myself. And when I feel like that, like I kind of let people just tell me to do whatever, and I just say like yes. So
I totally relate to that. You're like, because it's like you're uncomfortable anyway.
Oh, totally.
So pile it on.
Yeah, just like whatever you think is the right thing to do.
Yeah.
So I had all these different looks, and I was like, what should I wear? And they were like helping me pick stuff, whatever. And then like I did my hair down a lot because my mom always says I look prettiest when my hair is down. Ponytail. Anyway, it's like the smallest things your
that
mom's
stick in your head.
Oh my God. So anyway,
which is also scary then when you start thinking about having kids.
No shit.
Because you're like, ooh, I gotta, what, you think about how much the message stays with them.
Totally. Yeah. So I had a final look and it was red dress. Do you remember red dress? I was obsessed with red dress. If you go to my Instagram, it was like the only thing I wore for like a year.
Actually, I do remember that.
It's like a long maxi dress. It's like silky. It's from Zara. I mean,
right.
I have like 15 of them.
Oh, that's funny. I do remember that. Was that like 3 or 4 years ago?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, it's funny.
So I had red dress on, but they were like, there was like a pussy bow, and which I usually didn't, tie. And they were like, we should tie it. And I was like, okay, like a tuxedo, whatever. And then they were like, ooh, but like, what are you gonna do with your hair? And I was like, I don't know, maybe something like more fun and youthful if we're gonna make me look like a 65-year-old politician. Right. And so I was like, maybe like a high pony. And they were like, yes. So the hair girl, I didn't know her. She wasn't like the person I usually use. It was like somebody that they hired. She was like, I want to do a fun updo. I should have, the second I heard fun updo, I should have known better.
Updo is red flag. We need some specifics. Yeah.
It's going back to prom.
Oh, no.
Comedy prom night.
Oh, no.
So I look up in the mirror. I have curly tundrils. I've got it's like a do.
Damn.
And I'm like, you know what?
Like you're supposed to walk right into JCPenney and they'd be like, perfect. This is why we created the pictures at JCPenney for this look right here. You nailed it.
So I'm like, whatever. It's like 2 episodes. We only have 2 more to go.
Right.
So I'm going to look crazy for 2 episodes. Who cares? I go into the studio. We do the 2 episodes. And they're like, so we need you to do the promo reads now. And I'm like, promo reads? And they're like, yeah, they're going to air on TV.
Oh.
Because this was like a YouTube, Facebook show. And I'm like, TV? And they're like, yeah, we're going to run the ads for the after show like in betwixt for the commercial breaks for the actual show. So like as Younger is airing, these commercials are airing on literal television.
This is one of the things too where it's like the snowball effect of not standing up for yourself too. Which is just it's such a constant thing to like work on because it's like, okay, this makes me uncomfortable, but I do that. And the next thing you go, okay, do you mind like being the face that we're going to like put on this building now? And you're like, oh, with me like this? Not a problem. It's
to be the spokesperson for herpes? Okay.
Right, sure. I've been waiting for this call. Yeah. And they're like, yeah, your hair matches herpes perfectly, so we're just going to do it all right now. Great.
Your hair is herpes.
It's herpes. Herpes head. Perfect.
So I do it and I'm like, whatever. What are you going to do?
Right.
Let it go. So, like, I don't know, 2 months later when it finally is all like up and airing, I get a call from my parents. When they call me together, it's either going to be great or it's going to be bad.
Yeah.
And they're like, it's mommy and daddy. And I'm like, what's up, mommy and daddy?
Call about how you looked on something?
So they called and they were like, so we saw the ad. And I was like, yeah, I know. And they were like, didn't love the hair. Oof. And I was like, I didn't love the hair either. And it was like one of the biggest fights we ever got into and not because they were pushing so hard, but because I instantly like went mental.
Was it that they called you?
And they were like, stop yelling at us.
Was it because they called you so soon after? So you're like, why are you being mean? Or was it just like, why?
Well, it was like, what can you do about it now? If you were on set.
Right. Would have loved to hear it then.
That's when you say like, stop. Like, we should really change her hair. Fine, let's change the hair. But now, here we are.
Right, we're sitting in it.
We're in it.
How do you think you'd feel if they did it now that you're more comfortable? You're probably now also you probably wouldn't have let them keep doing it because you're like, no, I like how I look, so.
But I didn't.
But you didn't. But now, say it was now and someone was doing your hair now that you didn't like, would you probably stop them?
No, no. I literally, before we decided on our launch photo, I sent every single different look to my parents, and they literally chose it for me.
Thanks, Mom, Dad.
Zero growth.
But I bet but you liked all the ones that you sent them to choose from, right?
I did. No,
yeah.
I've learned my lesson there.
So that's good.
I didn't send any questionable ones.
Right.
I was like, no, I like all of these. Although I will say, my mom, beautiful evolution. Babsy really, she is such a queen.
Yes.
Chippy, I love you. Dr. Chippy, sorry to be disrespectful. I love you so much.
Yes.
But my God, like the one that everybody was like, it was like mom, sister, Tay's whole family, all my best friends, like Stassi, Claudia. These are like bad bitches. Hannah.
This one.
They're like, this is the one. Unanimously. My dad's like, your hair looks like a lion.
Does it? Well, great.
So, you know. So
you can't please everybody.
I saw you post that on Instagram. I was like, oh my God, I've never related to Emma more in my entire life.
You can't please everybody. And parents have a very specific thing that they're looking for, I guess. A double call from a parent really can mean anything.
Oh, the last time they did a double call was Probably after I initially came out. But then the one before that, I was hosting an event for Cosmo Radio when I was at Sirius. And it was like a night event. We were drinking.
Right.
And they called me and they were like, you sounded drunk. I was like, oh my, it was like worse than getting caught drinking in high school. And they were like, so unprofessional, slurring the words. I was like,
oh God.
Horrified.
It's really, I called my dad this morning and I got the answering machine, and right the way he was in the answering machine, he's like, Jeff and Ellie. That's what the answering machine is. No, right. And when I said it, I was like, you have to redo that, because I got flashbacks of me being in trouble from how what that sounds like. It just was like Jeff and Ellie message after the beep, and that's not the machine. That's my dad being the machine. It kicks into your head. I mean, I don't know if it ever goes away.
It doesn't.
But we have to untangle it and I go, okay, accept you for who you are. We're all trying our best.
Yes, and God bless them.
No
No matter what a parent does, even if they are the most perfect,
right,
top tier parent, their kid's gonna still find something that they fucked them up about.
Absolutely.
It's unavoidable.
Where are you at? And we can skip it if you have talked about it to death, but where are you and Taylor at in terms of the kid process? Right.
Next.
Okay. Fair. Because I've been thinking about it a little bit. I never thought I would want to have kids, but now I'm thinking about it.
No way.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, I'll get back in the conversation.
And then it's like a whole thing about the semen and the sperm and getting cum.
You have
or
two
whatever.
embryos.
I also need to learn more about biology.
Yeah, me. Yeah. Oh, I learned that too.
Because there's the embryo, and then you got to get the embryo comes after you do the sperm.
So the embryo is it is like
I deeply regret cheating in class for biology class.
We know the genders.
Oh, that's great.
We
so
have
it's
two.
mixed.
We have two really good ones.
The cocktail is shaken and stirred.
This thing is ready to go. Now, see, this is where the argument gets tricky with the super conservative
right
wing people, where they're like, "That's a baby."
Right.
I kind of get it. Like, I'm like, I know a gender.
Right.
It's not a baby, but it's like, if we were not to end up using them, like, I would absolutely.
There's no brain. I don't think so. I think it's just mixed.
I don't really know.
No,
we're living in scary times for this conversation.
100% no brain. I promise you that, because it's not in your body being created.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So great.
Yeah.
But
totally.
But it has a peenie or a vagini.
Wow.
Or supposedly the chromosomes.
Right.
Oh, right.
It's
There's
chromosomes.
no peenie or
There's
vagini.
no peenie or vagini. Yeah,
Got it. Okay.
Chromosomes.
It's just X's and Y's.
You know,
X's
there's
and O's.
someone listening. It's like there's like a nurse or dental assistant or whoever listening to this, or even probably most people just going, but hey, look. We're learning.
This is why the gays shouldn't have children.
We're learning. I can guarantee I know straight people that don't know about when the peenie or vagini comes into the embryo phase of the whatever. But you've got it mixed. You've got the cocktail mixed. That's awesome.
It's fully shaken. It's ready to go into the martini glass with olives.
Wow.
Just has to go up in her body piece.
Right.
You know?
That's
it's
exciting.
Nuts. I know, but it is. It's like, oh, what gorgeous, beautiful thing am I going to do that's going to fuck up my kid?
Here's
a
the
lot.
Thing. You know what?
Just the job alone will probably suffice.
Just being even like afraid of that. Who I was talking to? I was talking to Paul Scheer.
Yep.
And he said this great quote where he was like, if someone's not really scared to do it, I don't think they should even do it. He's like, because you're going to have because it is such a big responsibility. And there's so many things to be scared of.
Totally.
Like there was something, I tried talking about this with my mom and she did not get it at all. I was like, you know, it's something I've been thinking about. Okay, Lexi has a baby. Lexi's Mexican. I'd have a brown baby. I was like, that like scares me a little bit. My mom was like, what? That's awful. Like you shouldn't care. And I was like, no, Mom. I was like, I am not saying, I was like, I mean it from the standpoint of it's a different lived experience than I've had. And I'd want to be able to support that and like navigate that and give advice like on that type of thing.
Of course.
That's what I meant. I wasn't like I was like, I don't even want to get what you were implying. My mom was like, Emma Willmann, like that is unbelievable. Who can? You could have a brown baby, a white baby, an Asian baby. I'm like, well, we would know before it came. I was like, it would be a little weird if it was an Asian baby. We hadn't talked about that before. Obviously, I wouldn't have a problem with that. But my mom's like, yeah. I'm like, if I came out Asian, I think Dad would have had some questions. You know what I mean? The problem there wouldn't be that it was Asian. It would be like, where'd you get the sperm? But. So she totally missed it, but it was like there's so many things to take into consideration with that.
Totally.
And I was like, I would want to, because like, I was like, that's something I would want to be able to honor. Let me put it that way. And she's like, okay. But it's like, there's just so many things that I hadn't thought of until you start getting farther along in the process.
I know.
And then what if your kid wants to be a DJ?
Oh. Send them back where they came from.
I saw like Nikki Glaser had a joke in one of her specials about something like that where it was like, and I think she said DJ too, and I was like, exactly. I'd have a fear of being DJ, or like I don't know.
My fear is my kid being goth. And
oh my God,
I know
me
it's
too.
so crazy
No, wait,
and so
wait.
fucked up and so wrong.
I was about to say the same thing.
And I'm sorry to goth people,
Why
kids
is that?
listening right now. I don't know what it is.
Because, wait.
It's generational. It's generational. There's
That's
something.
so funny. I was about to say that. I was literally about to say that.
It would I'd be like, I don't know what to do with you. I can't relate to you. I don't understand anything. Why?
I don't think and hey, look.
Why are you wearing black lipstick?
I think I
would just.
I don't think it would be able to get to that point. But Lexi was like, no, like they need to be able to, and in one sense it's like, okay, great. I would rather have them like having expressing themselves and having a whatever.
Right.
But I don't think it would be, I think I'd be able to like subvert it before we even got there.
Which is the opposite of what we're supposed to do. Like as parents, we're supposed to like say like, you come out as who you are and I'm going to nurture who you are. But if you come out with a Marilyn Manson vibe, we have got to change who you are entirely as a person.
Fundamentally. Because also, and I don't like any I've never been one to be into type of conjuring or devil play or anything like that.
Yeah.
I don't find it funny. I don't think it's amusing.
I respect the Lord.
I don't like, it's like, and you can find that on your own and safe space, but I don't like it. No, none of that 666 whatever.
None of that devil stuff.
Yeah, and that sometimes, and I know maybe gothism isn't necessarily about that, but that's like what it was like when I was in high school, and I'm not into that.
Right.
Like I don't want to go up in the room. And
don't bring the
them.
devil into this house. Not today, Satan.
Exactly.
Not today.
And see, then the kids are going to be so confused. They're like, you guys don't even go to church. Like, whatever.
We have to wrap up.
All right.
But before I let you go, fuck, marry, kill.
Please.
Thanksgiving edition.
All right.
Turkey with gravy. You can't separate them.
Okay.
Okay? Because I know people prefer the gravy. So turkey with gravy, mashed potatoes, stuffing.
Here's the thing. Okay. Turkey with gravy. It completely depends on the gravy because I've had awful gravy before.
Awesome gravy.
Awesome
Kick-ass gravy. Epic gravy.
Okay, I'm going to say I'm going to have sex with... I'm going to have sex with the turkey and gravy.
Okay.
No, wait. I'm going to marry the turkey and gravy. I'm going to have sex with the mashed potatoes. I'm going to kill the stuffing.
You're going to kill stuffing?
Yeah.
I will literally...
There's no way
I will become stuffing.
There's no way I would have sex with stuffing.
I would marry the shit out of stuffing every day, baby.
I can understand marrying it, but I would not. But no, I wouldn't have sex with it because of the croutons. It would be crusty.
No,
it'd be pointy. I want a nice, voluptuous. A mashed potato is soft and inviting.
Okay.
And then the gravy is warm and comforting and inviting. The anything with stuffing, there's going to be like, it's like a scratches on your skin.
Sharp edge.
Sharp edges. Where are you going to mush in with the stuffing? You know what I mean?
I'll make it mush, baby. I'll make it mush.
I can see marrying it and having it be like, that's like a good thing to like bring to parties. And like, it's a great like trophy husband or wife, the stuffing. But high drama back at the house.
I'm gonna fuck turkey and gravy, and I'm gonna kill mashed potatoes.
Really?
There, I said it.
Wow.
Emma Willmann, thank you so much.
All right, thank you guys.
You guys follow Emma at Emma Willmann on Instagram. It's Willmann LLN. Double M and Emma. What did I used to say? Double M, double L, double N.
I don't even know. I'm like, yeah, what's the genie.
And where else can people check you out if I didn't mention it?
All my tour dates, which will be coming up down the road, will be at emmawillmann.com.
Great.
And check out the Pound Set. I appreciate it.
It's awesome. You guys, that is it for us. Happy Turkey Day. Try not to kill your family. You guys, that's it for us. Until tomorrow. Bye, girl. Bye.